lesson having this name we are going to discuss next. But first I'll revise you. We have seen last time a lesson that experiments with water, and in that lesson we have seen one experiment that salt is there. If in the water salt is more than the limit, then anyone can swim on that water. That thing will not drop down, that thing will float on the water only, because that water having salt so much. For example, we have seen Dead Sea. Dead Sea is there. Why it is Dead Sea? Because that Dead Sea water having so much salt, and that's why anything can float on that water. Then we have seen about the Dandi March. That on that time that people have to pay for salt also, and Gandhiji was thinking that it is the natural thing, it gives by the nature, then why we should pay for that Britishers? Then he has decided that I will not pay for the salt, and they have started the walking that's called Dandi March, right? Then we have finished that lesson. In this lesson we are going to see standard 5th, chapter number 8, subject EVS, a treat for mosquitoes. A treat for mosquitoes. Okay. So before starting this lesson, I just introduce you about this lesson. We know the disease: dengue, malaria, typhoid, floria. Okay, these all the disease happen because of some reasons, because of some particular reasons. But we can tell one thing, that is the cleanliness. We should need cleanliness to live healthy. We should eat proper diet to live healthy. We should eat food, proper food to live healthy. Like that, we should need cleanliness. We should need clean places for our health. Okay. Now see some reasons behind this malaria, behind this dengue, behind this floria, behind this typhoid. Why that happened? Why it's happened with us? Why it's happened with the human body? Because of some are the water, some are the cleanliness, some are the food, some are the touching. That is the reason. Then it is having symptoms. For example, we are facing cold, we are facing the heat, we are facing weakness. That are the symptoms of that disease. So there are the students that they were talking in each other. We'll see and we'll try to understand what they are telling. See page number 67. Blood test. Rajat is back at school today. He had been absent for many days. How are you now? Asked Aarti. I'm alright, Rajat replied softly. Just wait. You must have played a lot while you were at home. Now Jaskirit is telling that you must have played in home. A lot of games you played when you were in home. Then Rajat replied, who wants to play when you have fever? On top of it, I had to take a bitter medicine. I even had a blood test also. Now see, the Rajat is explaining himself that who want to play when you have fever? Then you have to do a blood test also. That time you can't play. You have to sleep whole day in the home or in the hospital only. Then just a blood test. Why? It must have been very painful, Rajat. Actually, when the needle pricked my finger, it felt like an ant bite. Now see, how they pick our blood. Means if they want blood, they prick that needle in our finger, but that not actually paining a lot. It's pain like any ant is biting. Then they took 2-3 drops of blood and sent it for testing. That's how we came to know that I had malaria. Nancy, but you get malaria when a mosquito bites you. Roger, yes, but you find out by the blood test. Just kidding. There are a lot of mosquitoes in my house these days, but I did not get malaria. Nancy, who says that every mosquito bites causes malaria? Malaria spreads only by the disease carrying mosquitoes. Now, by biting every mosquito, there is no disease like malaria. If that mosquito is carrying malaria with it and it bites us, then only that malaria happen with us or we have to face. Then Arti, all mosquitoes look the same to me. Rajat, there must be some difference. Now see, taking the blood on the glass slide for test malaria spreads through female mosquitoes, Anopheles. Malaria spreading by the female mosquitoes. Then Dr. Mariam looking at the blood slide under the microscope. This microscope makes things look 1,000 times bigger. The details inside the blood can be seen clearly. There are some microscopes which make things look even more bigger than this one. Now there is a microscope. Microscope means we know. The microscope is the thing that we can see the 10 times bigger sketches there. Suppose a mosquito is there and normally as we fail to see the full mosquito. But if we took in the microscope, we can see the full body of mosquito. Then we can see virus also under this microscope. Then in this microscope, we can see 10 times greater. But there are some microscopes that shows us 1,000 times greater results. Means we can see virus directly in that microscope. Now next thing, Nancy. Did they take the blood from the place where the mosquito had bitten you? Rajat. Of course not. How do I know when and where the mosquito bite me? Now see, she is asking that where that mosquito bite you, they took blood from there only. Rajat is saying no. How should I know that mosquito bite me here and here and here? I don't know. That's why they took blood from the finger only. Nancy, but how could they find out that you had malaria by your blood test? Do you think they could see anything in the blood? Now it's the correct question also. They have seen in that blood. That's why they gave result that it is a malaria. No? Now see, questions are there and I have sent questions on the WhatsApp group. Sorry, answers I have sent. Do you know anyone who has had malaria? How did they find out that they had malaria? Now, how did they find out? Suppose we are in home, we are not going to the doctor, we are in home. But some people are there, they are telling that it is the symptoms of malaria. Which are the symptoms of malaria? Cold, hot, fever or what? There are some symptoms for the some disease. And by that symptoms we can know this disease is daughter. What problems did they have on having malaria? Now what are the symptoms are there? What other disease can be caused by mosquito bites? In which season is malaria more common? Why do you think this happens? What do you do in your house to protect yourself from mosquitoes? Also find out from your friends about what they do. Now see page number 69. Add the report of the blood test given here which words in the report help us to know that the person has malaria. Now one report is there, and that report showing that it is the malaria. Clinical pathology report, केंद्रीय सरकार स्वास्थ्य योजना, सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट हेल्थ स्कीम. Name Rajat, age 11, sex male. Diagnosis fever with chills and rigors. ठंड लगकर कंपकपी के साथ बुखार. Now these are the symptoms of the malaria. Malaria parasite found in blood sample. खून में मलेरिया के जीवाणु पाए गए. That's why it is the malaria. Now see, medicine for malaria. From early times, the dried and powdered bark of the cinchona tree was used to make a medicine for malaria. Earlier people used to boil the bark powder and strain the water which was given to patients. Now tablets are made from this. There was a tree, neem tree or a cinchona tree. From that tree people are using medicine as a medicine for the malaria. Now anemia, what's that? What is anemia? Arti. You know, I also had to get a blood test done, but they took a syringe full of blood. The blood test showed that I had anemia. Rajat. What is that? Arti. The doctor said that there is a less hemoglobin or iron in the blood. The doctor gave some medicines to give me strength. He also said that I should eat jaggery, amla and more green leafy vegetables because these have iron. Nancy. How can there be iron in our blood? Just kidding. There was something about this in the newspaper yesterday. Now they're just laughing. So then you ate iron or what? He's telling. Arti says, silly, this is not the iron used to make these keys. I don't know exactly what it was. After I ate a lot of vegetables and whatever the doctor had said, my hemoglobin went up. Now hemoglobin is a power in our body. Hemoglobin gives strength to our body to work. So if that hemoglobin is less in our body, we feel weak at that time. Then we have to follow the doctors. What doctors are telling us, we have to eat the strong food, which food will give us energy. That food we have to eat at that time. Now anemia common in Delhi school. 17 November 2007, thousands of children studying in the municipal corporation schools in Delhi suffer from anemia. This is affecting both their physical as well as mental health. Due to anemia, children do not grow well and their energy levels are low. This also affects their ability to study properly. Now, health checkups are being done in the schools and health cards are being made for all the children. Anemia children are also being given iron tablets. Anemic children are giving tablets. Now see, tell, questions are there, 2 pictures are there, and using that pictures you have to answer the questions. You can write all the question answers in your notebook because I have sent answers on the WhatsApp group. Today we'll stop here. We'll continue this lesson in the next part. Thank you so much. Hello students, welcome in this video. So students, in previous video we have seen about the EVS fifth standard. In that lesson we have seen about the different types of disease. Subject EVS. And chapter number 8, a treat for mosquitoes. We have finished half lesson in the last video, and I told you to solve the question and answers, and I have sent the answers also on the WhatsApp group. So we'll go ahead on the page number 71. Find out. Ask a doctor or elders about the food items which contain iron. Then baby mosquitoes. Just here, there is a poster on malaria just outside our class. Everyone goes out to look. Now see that poster. Are you inviting mosquitoes? Then be aware. Why? Because some pictures are there, and that picture showing how malaria spread out. We'll see. They spread malaria, dengue and chikungunya. Don't let water collect around your house. Fill up the pits. Keep the water pots, coolers and tanks clean. They should be dried every week. Use mosquito net to protect yourself. Spray kerosene if water has collected at some place. Now these are the major things, or basic we can call. Means we have to not collect the water at one place for a long time. Then if there is anything which is kept for a long days, that also we have to clean that thing. Then we have to clean our home also. We have to clean our place where we are living. That place also we have to clean. Then spray kerosene if water has collected at some place. Now suppose water is collected at some place, you have to spray there kerosene. Then next result. The poster says something about larvae. What are those, Nancy? They are baby mosquitoes, but they don't like mosquitoes at all. Where did you see them, Nancy? There was an old pot lying behind our house. It was full of water for some days. When I looked there, I saw some tiny thread like grey things swimming. I was surprised when Mummy told me that these had come out of the eggs which mosquitoes lay in water. They are called larvae. I also heard something about this on the radio. Rajat, what did you do, Nancy? Papa immediately threw away the water. He cleaned and dried the pot and kept it upside down so that no water would collect. Just here. Saji auntie told me that even flies spread a disease, especially stomach problems. Then Rajat, but flies don't bite. Then how do they spread disease? Now see, questions are there and also answers also are there. We have to read that carefully. Now baby mosquitoes are there. What will baby mosquitoes do? See, find out and take. Have you seen any poster like this put up anywhere? Who do you think puts up such posters or gives ads in the newspapers? What are some of the important points given in the poster? Why do you think pictures of a tank, cooler and pits are shown in the poster? You have to answer that question. Then think. Why do you think it talks about putting fish in the tank? What do you think the fish eats? What will happen when oil is sprayed on the water? Now I think we have discussed that oil or kerosene, if you put on the water, that flows on the water. The next, find out which diseases are spread by flies and how. Mosquito check. Divide your class into 2 or 3 groups. Each group will go around to check one area in or around it, in school or around it. It must be carefully known if water has collected anywhere and marked where it finds stagnant water. Pot, cooler, tank, any open space in the school ground, gutter, any other place. Now these answers you have to write. You have to do a survey. Means like that teachers coming to our house for survey how many people is living in your home, type of questions they are asking, that we call survey. Now you have to do survey like this near your school, near your house, or anywhere. You can go there. You can see that if water is there, if water is collected there for so many days, then you have to tick there. So what is that type of water collected? Suppose there is a pot, in that pot water is collected, then you have to click or you have to mark on the pot side. Okay, like this you have to go there, you have to survey, you have to answer the questions. Since how many days has water collected there? Minimum you can write 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 6 like that. Who is responsible for keeping these places clean? Who is supposed to get the gutters and drains repaired? Can any larvae be seen in the collected water? Has it caused any problem in the area? Right. Now you have to write this all the answers and you have to make a poster. See. In your group, make a poster with a message to keep the cooler, tank, drains and the area clean. Wherever water collects, put up your poster in and around your school. Find out who is responsible for keeping the area around your school clean. Write a letter from your class, reporting your findings and suggestions. Find out to whom the letter should be written and to which office it should be sent. Now survey report. Some children did this survey. Here are some of their reports. Now we'll see the reports. Good first. We found something green around the tabs in our school, which is called algae. Due to algae, a kind of plant, it had also become slippery there. The algae spreads a lot during in a rainy season. We think that they are some kind of small plants that grow in water. Then group 2. There is a pond near the school. At first you cannot see the water in the pond as it is completely covered with plants. One auntie told us that these plants have grown themselves in water. Around the pond there are pits full of water. We also saw some larvae in the water. As we moved around, lots of mosquitoes flew from the plants growing around. Jaskirat feels that there are so many mosquitoes in her house because of this dirty pond nearby. Now see, how means which type of things there are where water is collected. Pond is there, trees are there, then pot pits are there. Okay. Is there a pond or a river around your house or school? Go and look around and observe the things. Can you see a algae in a round of water? Where else have you seen algae? Now see, write these questions and answers in your notebook. I'll go ahead. A scientist peeps into a mosquito's stomach. Now see, this is very interesting. I will read that. This interesting incident took place almost 100 years ago. The scientists found out that mosquitoes spread malaria. Let's read about this discovery in his own words. My father was a general in the Indian Army. I studied to become a doctor, but what I really liked was reading stories, writing poetry, music and drama. In my free time I enjoyed doing all this. In those days, thousands of people used to die from a disease that we now call malaria. The disease was found in area where there was a lot of rain or in swampy places. People thought that the illness was caused by some poisonous gas that came from the dirty swampy areas. They gave it the name malaria, which means bad air. One doctor had seen tiny germs in the blood of one of the patients when he observed it under a microscope, but he could not understand how these had got into the patient's blood. Now, my professor had some ideas about this. I think that this may be carried by some kind of mosquito. As his student, I spent all my time chasing mosquitoes to catch and observe. We used to carry empty bottles and chase mosquito after mosquito. Then we would put a mosquitoes into a mosquito net in which there was a patient of malaria. The mosquitoes would have a feast, biting these patients. The patients were paid 1 anna for allowing one mosquito to bite them. I will always remember those days at the hospital in Secunderabad. How we used to cut open the mosquito stomach and peep into it. I would spend hours and hours bent over a microscope. By night, my neck would be stiff and my eyes would not see clearly. It used to be very hot, but we dared not fan ourselves, as all the mosquitoes would fly off in breezing. Once I also fell ill with malaria. I spent months like this with the microscope, but could not find anything. One day we caught a few mosquitoes that looked different. They were brownish with spotted wings. When I looked into the stomach of one of the female mosquitoes, I saw something black there. I looked closer. I saw that these tiny germs looked just like the ones that were found in the blood of malaria patients. At last we had a proof. Mosquitoes did spread malaria. In December 1902, Ronald Ross got the highest award for his discovery, the Nobel Prize for Medicine. In 1905, even as he lay dying, Rose's last words were, I will find something new. Now see, such a big story it is, and in this story only one point is clear, that malaria spread by